How's the video? Video quality looks good? All right, cool. Welcome, guys. This is the first Instagram live story that I've done. I'm gonna start doing these every Friday where I post questions and you guys ask. It can be watch questions, it can be personal questions. Whatever you ask, I'm gonna answer as many of them as I can. So to start it off, wrist check. Today, I'm wearing an Omega Speedmaster Apollo 11 in yellow gold. This is a 50th anniversary, newest piece to my collection, and I love it. So I'm gonna jump right into questions. All right, how much money did I start with? I get asked that question a lot. Whenever I started this business, I borrowed $1,300 to buy a Tag Heuer off of Craigslist, and I ended up selling that a few days later for a $500 profit, and that's when the light bulb came on and started my journey. How long did it take you to learn to spot fakes? Are you confident enough to authenticate other brands? Hublot, Panerai. I still don't know a lot. I've learned I've learned a lot over time. It just comes with seeing watches like this. It comes with seeing these things every day and getting used to what quality looks like and feels like. So after 3 years in the business, it gets to where you can just pick up a watch and something feels off. That's when you know to start questioning it. Then you start scanning the dials, bracelets, all that kind of stuff. When it comes to Hublots don't have a lot of really high quality fakes in my opinion. Panerai, on the other hand, extremely hard to tell. Panerais I'm actually afraid of, and I will not buy them, and I will not pay for a Panerai until I've gotten into my hands, I've assessed the watch, the movement, the box papers, everything, and I'm confident about who I'm buying from. What do you think about Grand Seiko? I'm looking for one. Honestly, I've never worn a Grand Seiko. I've never been a fan of it, but not because I didn't like it or didn't like the brand. I just didn't know anything about it. But I've actually got a couple of them sitting right here in front of me, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed. This is a Grand Seiko spring drive in solid rose gold. It's a GMT. It's got a crazy amount of weight to it. And I don't know, I'm impressed with this. Price point's a little high, but I think Grand Seiko's a brand that is coming up, and you're gonna see some cool stuff from them throughout the years. Are gold pieces a good investment? Why and why not? Well, gold pieces are a good investment in the sense of it depends on what you buy. They're not a good investment when it comes to gold because there's not a single watch on the market that is worth the price for the gold that's required. If you melted this watch down, this has a price point of around 50,000, 45 to 50,000. There is not nowhere close to $45,000 worth of gold. Right now, rose gold hot. If you can buy a rose gold piece at retail, depending on the model, you can flip it for a small profit. That's a good investment. I wouldn't buy a gold piece solely on the investment side of it. Why did you serve time and how long was my bid? So for anyone that hasn't seen my videos on YouTube, my first prison stint was when I was 19 years old. I ran from the police on a motorcycle from Dallas through Sherman up towards Gainesville. To give you an idea on the chase, if you were to drive that in a car and go the speed limit, it would take you roughly 2 hours. I made it in about 52 minutes. There was something like 22 police and a couple helicopters involved. I was young, dumb, full of adrenaline, and I'd made up my mind I wasn't stopping whenever they tried to pull me over. So I ran and I did 11 months on that one. My second stint was when I was 28 years old in 2016. In 2013, I was arrested for a DWI third, and I got put on bond, and I kept violating my bond. Eventually, I signed for 6.5 years probation, only to still think I was invincible and still keep up, and I eventually failed a drug test, and that revoked my probation. I went away for 13 months that time. So since then, I've been out, I've been clean, I've been good, and life's pretty amazing. $15,000 to spend, which 3 Rolexes will hold the most value? If you're wanting 3 Rolexes for $15,000, you're wasting your time. It's not gonna happen. If you are talking about $15,000 for one, I'd probably look at a sub. A sub is classic. It's definitely gonna hold its value. I can't say whether it's gonna go up or down. It is the most sought after watch. It's one of the easiest to sell. A date or no date ceramic sub, you can't go wrong with that. I would actually actually look at the Milgauss. This is one of my favorite watches. This is my personal, it's a blue dial Milgauss. Once this gets discontinued, you're gonna see crazy amount of popularity. I thought it was gonna get discontinued this year. It didn't, along with a lot of other stuff, but whatever. Anyway, a Milgauss is a great option. If you can get your hands on any of the colored OPs right now under 15, this one's green dial's going for about 12,000 to 12,500. The red dial's slightly bit higher. The Tiffany blue dial, I have one, but it's not in here. They're over 16. I think these OPs are gonna be a very short run for just a couple years. They're not gonna go down. Those are safe bets on those. Let's see.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. What do you think of the new Tudor releases?
Oh, I saw that question here. The new Tudor releases. I've only seen the main one that everyone's talking about, which is the yellow gold green dial, green bezel. I think it's a gorgeous watch. I don't think $26,000.
16,200.
16,
The chrono was actually pretty nice.
Is it? I haven't seen the chrono yet. I think the yellow gold green one's bad. I personally can't spend $16,000 on a Tudor, but I think that one's gonna be a hit. Green dials right now, insanely popular. Everyone's liking them. You've seen AP, you've seen Patek. Did you get those? You've seen AP and Patek release a lot of green dials. All of AP's Royal Oak lineup has green dials in it. Patek last year throwing out some green dials. Patek throwing some green dials out this year. I think the Tudor's gonna be a hit. How much do you think the reintroduced Batman will cost? I think it's gonna float right there alongside with the Jubilee. Right now, the Jubilee Batman is trading around $16,500 to $17,500 brand new, $15,000 to $16,000 pre-owned. I think the Oyster is gonna be the same. I don't like that they did that. As I mentioned in my YouTube video, before, if you saw a Batman on the Oyster bracelet, you knew it was a 116710. You knew it was the old version. Now, there's a very, 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 very small difference you can tell, and you have to be looking up close to the watch. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that you can't tell now which one's which. So I know a lot of people wanted the new movement, the updated movement on an Oyster bracelet option, so Rolex did it as a business standpoint, but there's both of those. This is the old one. This is the new one with the updated power reserve and movement. Personally, I like the Jubilee better. How do you recommend cleaning Rolexes? I shower with mine on. I wash my hands with soap and water. Get used to touching the crown. If it's a screw down crown, just train yourself to touch it real quick, make sure it's tight. If it's not a screw down crown, I would not get it wet. I would take the baby toothbrush, soap and water, clean around it, blow dry it with a hair dryer so that you're not taking a very rough towel or wash rag and scratching. If it's gold, you got to do it very delicately because gold scratches a lot easier. Daytona, panda dial, or black, which is the better investment? White dial all the way. Personally, I like the black dial better, but the white dial is going to be, to answer your question, the white dial is going to be the most popular. As you're seeing, they're already trading in the $40,000 price range, whereas black is still only about 33 to 34. Here is your white ceramic Daytona. How do I feel about Richard Mille? I absolutely love Richard Mille. I was actually at the Richard Mille boutique in Vegas 2 weeks ago, and I picked up a couple magazines. I knew a little bit about Richard Mille before I read these magazines and these books, but now I have a whole new appreciation for them. The amount of time and money that they spend on research and development, the relationships they have with their athletes and their ambassadors, the craftsmanship, the everything about these watches is absolutely amazing. So there's a question in here where someone asked me how long the Richard Mille hype bubble is going to last. I think it's going to be a long time. The main thing that a lot of people don't realize is that Richard Mille controls their entire distribution. If you buy a Richard Mille at retail from a boutique and you ever sell it, they know. How, I don't know, but they know. They control the distribution. They know where every single Richard Mille is at, where it's being sold on the secondary market, and they control that. They're not going to release more watches. They're only going to up the quality and the ambassadors. They pick very, very specific ambassadors for a reason. They don't do like Hublot and go give every single athlete a watch. You know, they're going to be around for a long time. And while there was one specific watch I wanted. It was the 1104 Mancini. With the carbon TPT bezel. Now I want a McLaren for sure. I've been reading a lot about that one with the orange strap. That is an amazing watch. I definitely want some Richard Mille's in my future. Let's see, why did I leave the real estate business? I went to prison. That wasn't by choice. So let's see, will the new two-tone Explorer still sell at premium despite the general disapproval? No, I do not see the new two-tones selling at retail. Retail price on a 36 millimeter two-tone Explorer is like 10,000 and some change. It's not worth that because now you're getting into Datejust 41 territory, which is a bigger watch, and it has a date. I see people going for the stainless steel version. That one's gonna trade over retail. I would say that one will trade somewhere around 8 to 8,500. It makes sense, the two-tone doesn't. How did I scale my business to what it is today so quickly? So I've also put this in my story. Whenever I started out in the business, I didn't have any money. I didn't have a name in the business. I didn't even have any inventory. I couldn't afford advertising. I just had nothing. You know what, the one thing I knew was social media. Before I went to prison, I did a stint of travel blogging and traveling, and I had a fitness page, I had a travel Instagram, and I was gaining a lot of traction on each of those. So I knew that my best case scenario was to start promoting my watch business on Instagram. That's what I did. I started pulling pictures from other people's stuff. I looked for things that other people weren't sharing. I just threw it all over social media. I had multiple Instagram accounts, multiple Facebook pages, multiple Facebook groups. I was in all the forums. I was out eating at nice restaurants, at nice coffee shops for lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, just networking the hell out of myself. Every single time I saw someone wearing a nice watch, I walked up to them and I complimented them. I struck up a conversation. I kept their info. I reached out. You know, I built my business by basically networking myself. You know, when I came up with the name, The Timepiece Gentleman, I was basically branding myself as a business. And the key to it, my number one rule in marketing, guys, by the way, I've never spent $1 on SEO. I've never spent $1 on ads, words, keywords, search, Facebook ads, Instagram ads. None of that stuff interested me. I just thought of things that other people weren't doing, and then I hung out in free platforms like social media. The number one rule in marketing is do what no one else is doing. I always come up with these crazy ideas and I tell Marco about them and he's like, no, that won't work. Or if I tell someone else about it and they're like, that won't work and here's why. Those are the things that I do because my guess is that someone else probably came up with that idea as well and someone told them the exact same thing. Oh, so-and-so tried that, it didn't work. That won't work, that won't work. When someone tells me that won't work, I take it as a personal challenge and I go make it work. Sometimes I've tried these things and they actually haven't worked, but more often than not, if I'm trying something different and I believe I can make it work, it works. And I just don't stop until it does.
Wow, what's your thought on Vacheron overseas and
Oh yeah, get mine.
the Lambo?
Go the Lambo. I'm gonna be responsible and my accountant's supposed to have our 2020 tax returns and everything ready in the next week. Once we write that big check and we pay those off, then we're gonna start Lambo shopping. You saw in my video on my birthday, Marco rented or borrowed a Huracan Evo Spider, white ragtop convertible. Absolutely love that car. I'm thinking a little bit different. I wanna go Tiffany blue. And then as for Vacheron, absolutely love it. I think Vacheron, what they're doing with the overseas and their perpetual calendars, they've got this in an open worked perpetual calendar that I want, and they just introduced an open work perpetual calendar in white gold. Amazing. I think Vacheron is a sleeper brand right now. And by what I mean is you can buy these pieces under retail. You can still get most of the overseas collection under retail. These are hot pieces. I think they're coming up, and in the next 2 or 3 years, you're gonna see a huge spike in Vacheron because as people know, it's harder and harder to get Rolex. Do I have any plans on a full diamond watch? It's funny you asked that because I was actually just looking at my collection the other day and realized that's the only thing I don't have. I have dress watches, I have sport watches, I have steel, I have gold, I've got leather strap watches, I have rubber strap watches. I don't have anything with all diamonds. Now, as awkward as it may sound for me to say I'm not that flashy, typically I'm not that flashy. Wearing an all diamond watch doesn't really suit my personal taste, but I've been thinking about it. If I do get one, I want a 41 millimeter AP plain dial, just full diamond. So who knows? I probably will get one of these days just to have one. Why don't you run any YouTube ads? Oh, that's a good question. I don't run any YouTube ads because honestly, the whole you can make all this money from YouTube monetization. Yes, you can make a decent amount of money, but the guys making big money, like millions of dollars, they've been in it and they've been on YouTube for years on end. Are there a couple channels that have popped up overnight and they've done extremely successful? Yes, but they're still not making absorbent amounts of money. Remember Facebook, guys, like 10 years ago. What made Facebook sexy was it was just straight to the point. You could go on there and you could network with your friends. You could see what was going on. You weren't getting bombarded with ads. Imagine every time you watch one of my videos, an ad pops up before you have to watch it. And then 5 minutes into it, you've got to watch another ad. And then 20 minutes into it, you've got to watch another ad. Well, you guys that are longtime followers that have been watching since the beginning, y'all may stick around because you already know the storyline. If I'm just a recommendation to someone on YouTube and they click on that video and they see, oh, there's an ad that I can't skip, and this video is an hour and a half long, I'm just not gonna watch it. So I think, personally, I don't think we make enough money off of you. I don't think we're gonna make enough off of YouTube that it's worth missing out on the potential for new visitors to the page and the channel. Plus, I want you guys to have a good experience. Like, again, we're not gonna make $100,000 a month. We're not gonna make $10,000 a month off of running these ads, but you guys are gonna get a better viewing experience and me not having those ads. So what I have been doing is the first week for sure, I do not monetize. After a week, week and a half or so, or after the video reaches 125,000 views, then I'll add a single monetization ad just for the hell of it. Because after the new video comes out, that's my new focus. My new focus is on the new week's video, the current one. I can add monetization on there later. Down the road, am I going to monetize? I don't know yet. I want you guys to have a good channel. Again, I don't think I'm going to make more money off of YouTube than I make in my business. So I'd rather keep the YouTube channel clean and fresh. That way it pushes more business my way. Why does Tiffany Blue increase the value on watches so much? It's just, you don't see it anywhere. It's new. People relate it to Tiffany. Obviously, if you have a GMT, a Daytona, a Paddock, anything with a Tiffany stamp on it, it's because it's such a limited production piece and it's such a rare thing to see. It makes it more valuable. People want stuff they can't have. Last question is, how many honest hours do you spend on your body, both diet and gym or similar? So, some of y'all probably saw the video that guy put out, like bashing me or something, who I've never even heard of this guy until this video came out. But he made some comments in there, like, oh, you know, we never really see you work out, you're just buff. Insinuating that I look like I do because of steroids. Well, if you've ever watched my Instagram story, I post sushi, like sashimi, clean sashimi all the time is what I eat, and I work out twice a day. I mean, at least once a day on a bad day. I was a personal trainer when I was 17, 18 years old for 2 or 3 years. I have been working out consistently for, let's see, I started when I was 15. I'm 33 now. I've been working out for 18 years. I think the conception that I do steroids or have done steroids is that people think I used to look normal last week or last month or something, and then all of a sudden I just got this big. So if you went to the gym and you worked out for 18 years consistently, oh, hey, let him in.
Oh, yeah.
If you were to start working out and you worked out pretty consistently and you followed a diet and you ate good and you worked out as much as I did, you could get in this shape too. If someone thinks I did steroids, I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter to me. I know what I've done and what I haven't done. I was at Melvin's gym this morning for almost an hour and a half on an empty stomach. That's a trick too, is if I go out to eat at night and I eat late, I get up and I do my first workout as a fasted workout, no matter whether it's weights, cardio, anything. I do an hour in the morning on an empty stomach. That burns pure fat. Then I go eat a healthy breakfast. I eat healthy. Like, you guys see me eat out a lot. What you don't see is what I'm doing before that. If I know I'm gonna go out to Nick and Sam's and have a steak and mashed potatoes, guess what? I'm eating egg whites and oatmeal for breakfast. I'm having a protein shake and a small salad for lunch. I'm eating very lean. So I've just learned over the years to counterbalance it. Guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in. This was fun. I enjoyed it. Every Friday morning, I'm going to start posting a question, the little question box on Instagram here on my personal page. And just throw me your questions and I'll download them all and I'll read them and we'll answer it. This was fun. You're gonna see this on YouTube as well. So guys, thanks for joining in and I will see you next time.